Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Got some news for you guys today, so let's just jump straight on into it. A little while back, I posted a whole bunch of images in one video about the different paint schemes of the beasts of the Mesozoic figures, and someone in the comments had stated that they actually had quite a few prototypes that were already painted and finished up, so I decided that it would probably be a good idea to show them to you here in this video if you have not seen them previously, as David Silva himself has just released images of his newest prototype that he painted, and that would be the Centrosaurus, and that would be also the adult version of the Monoclonius, which I have actually shown you guys before, so we won't dive back into the Monoclonius or show that one, but as you can see, these images of the new Centrosaurus look quite incredible. I think the paint scheme is really bright, really flashy, but somehow David Silva always manages to pull it off in a very realistic looking fashion, and even though it is super flashy in my opinion, it still somehow looks very natural, and I think he's done such a great job on it, as he always does. I'll be very intrigued to see just how well the factory products match up to these prototypes, because the prototypes are honestly jaw-droppingly beautiful. Then here are the images of the prototype of the Inosaurus, which is definitely one of my favorite. Something about this paint scheme is just super appealing to me. I don't really know exactly what it is or how to put my finger on it, but I really love this paint scheme. I love the use of the white, or almost like a grayish color, and everything just blends so beautifully and so naturally. And again, as I continuously always say when it comes to the beast of the Mesozoic, they're such crazy flashy paint schemes, but they're so natural looking, and I don't know how David Silva really does it, because it's pretty much mind-blowing to me just how good of a paint job he does do on these figures, but again, this Inosaurus looks absolutely fantastic. Then there is the Zunoceratops, and again, absolutely beautiful. Great looking paint scheme, again, very flashy, but once again, done in a very natural way. And I love the fact that throughout all of these prototypes, you can see, if you take notice, that a lot of the times the horns are actually painted different colors, so that does give them all their own individual personality. It's not like he's just repeating the paint schemes on each of their horns too, because you might think that the horns all being similar would probably just look all the same, but in an attempt to make sure that everything looks a good bit different and they all have their own individual charm, he has actually painted different horns, different colors and everything, so that is another plus on top of the already huge plus of how beautiful and natural these super articulated ceratopsians are. Again, this prototype looks fantastic of the Zunoceratops, very flashy but very realistic looking. And then the other one is the Xenoceratops, and man, this is my favorite, I'm not gonna lie. Out of all of these, it is probably the flashiest paint scheme, but somehow just looks so incredibly beautiful. This one here is definitely, without question, an order from me right away. This will probably be the very first one that I do pre-order when they do release, or I guess not really release, but when the Kickstarter comes up, because it is absolutely fantastic looking. It honestly is so beautiful, and I really love this. Overall, it is such a flashy looking paint scheme, but so insanely well done that I am head over heels in love with it. And then there is also the Pachyrhinosaurus, which I also really like. I think looks really beautiful, the way that he has applied that blue all throughout, but it really meshes so well with the colors that he has chosen for the primary body color. And I'm really excited for this one as well. This actually might be my second favorite now that I'm really looking at it. Maybe it could possibly take the place of my favorite. It's really so tough. They're all such beautiful looking figures. I'm honestly going to want to own every single one of them, and it would probably cost me a fortune to do that. But they are all just so really beautifully done that I can't help but want them all. Again, there's too many that are so beautiful to actually pick a favorite. But man, do they all look fantastic. David Silva is absolutely destroying it with these Ceratopsians. As far as Chronicle Collectibles goes, they just recently put up a pre-order for their upcoming Dilophosaurus statue. It is a Jurassic Park inspired Dilophosaurus, of course. It does include a broken sign, which I think is really awesome. There is also a Barbasol can that is included if you do pre-order through Chronicle Collectibles, which helps the overall appearance of this just look super cool. The overall sculpting of it looks fantastic, As far as the paint, of course, it does look good on the prototype, but we will have to wait and see when the actual final product comes out from the factory how good the paint scheme actually is, because you never really can tell with Chronicle figures or statues or anything like that. It is really cool, however, that there are interchanging heads, so you can put it up and display it with the frill out or with the frill down in a more relaxed pose. Both are super cool looking, and overall I think this set is really awesome. Let's just keep our fingers crossed for anyone that orders it that the final factory release is as good as this prototype. As far as Rebor goes, we did get some images here of the upcoming dinosaur fetuses that are going to be in a specimen jar, and I think they just look absolutely awesome. As always from Rebor, they are a very nice, very dull coloration, I will say that, but I think they're so realistic looking, and it's something that I am going to be really excited to get a hold of, something that will be, again, a first day purchase for me, probably a pre-order, honestly, because they really look cool, and with the light on, it just takes them to another level, very similar to the dinosaur in the egg, the Chickenosaurus that they had released a while back, with the way the light kind of makes them glow. But the fact that they are honestly very real looking specimens in a jar just makes me want to get them immediately and take a look at them in person. They're just something that is just so unique and different from the normal dinosaur model that I really cannot wait to get a hold of those. Then in the world of Mattel, we don't have too much to really report on. Of course, we have reported on these guys before, but I did want to show you a few new images that I found here of the Allosaurus and Nasutoceratops that just came out. As the images I showed you guys previously weren't really that great, they weren't too up close or anything, these images can give you a little bit better of an idea of what they look like if you haven't actually seen any video of them or anything yet, or haven't actually found them in store. I know a lot of these figures have been showing up mostly in the west side of the United States, but as time is going on here, they seem to be creeping over here into the middle and eastern side of the United States. Of course, my area is probably going to get them last because that just seems to be the way it always works, but I actually cannot wait to get both the Nasutoceratops, Allosaurus, and actually even the Concavinator. Initially, I wasn't too big of a fan of it when I had seen it from the Toy Fair images a while back, but looking at it now, I actually think the paint job has kind of grown on me, and I am also intrigued to get that one as well. And the very last thing is, if you don't already know, that the new Savage Strike assortment has also hit stores in Walmarts all across America. I'm not quite sure if this is only contained in the West Coast at this point, because that seems to be where all the Jurassic figures first hit, is in the California area and pretty much all the states in the west side. But as you can see, the new Savage Strike Blue, the new Savage Strike Pachycephalosaurus, the JP3 Raptor, which no one's happy about the paint scheme of, and the Dilophosaurus, which also people are pretty unhappy about the paint scheme of. But I will actually say that those two do look really nice here in hand images. They do look quite appealing and much better than I expected them to. Would I have liked them to be in the original paint schemes? Absolutely, so much more than these paint schemes, but I am still pretty happy to see them like this because they don't look bad. They really look half decent. But again, they would have been better the other way, but these paint schemes do actually look a lot more appealing in person. The Pachycephalosaurus, I will say, looks fantastic. I am still a little unhappy about the fact that for some reason the paint is on the underside of the tail. Kind of makes it look like the tail is upside down, but I think it's just supposed to be the way the paint is applied for maybe a little bit of difference, I don't know. Regardless, it still looks really nice, even with the weird underside paint that makes the tail look like it's upside down. And the blue looks pretty decent. I'll be more intrigued to see that one and have more to say about it probably when I actually see it in person. But as of right now, that's all I really have. As far as news goes, when more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way. But until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.